Alright, hello everyone, Simon here. Let's play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We are going into the trial as Edgeworth because Phoenix is dead. February 9, 9:47 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Oh my, Mr. Loris feels that way about me. Ew. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Yeah, he's a pervert. Stay away from him. Worry not, and in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donham, correct? Oh. Oh. So first of all, Donham is like a pun for pseudonym. If she knows that it's actually if she knows it's actually Misty Faye, I think she's smart enough to get around the Matagama. The magic Matagama. Utter nonsense. I think she's smart enough to get around the Matagama by saying that no, I didn't kill Elise Donham because there is no Elise Donham. I killed Misty Faye. So she can say I didn't kill Elise Donham, and it wouldn't actually be a lie because she knows that she killed Misty Faye. That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well then. It wasn't me. I didn't kill Elise Donham. Yeah, no, I think she's smart enough to get around the Matagama, one way or another. Mr. Edgeworth, yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed? Don't worry, I've made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. February 9, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 7. Uh-oh, it's the Bond one. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Huh. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I am not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. The prosecution stands ready. Hey Francesca, how are you? And you are Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't, but I'm sure once before in this court. Ah! I told you, there is no such weakling. What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at... I have no objection to the whip. Edgeworth is into it. You don't. The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. You should get a different hobby, Francisca. And get a different boyfriend. Well, maybe it's hard to find a lawyer who's into the whipping. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip between my fingers. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Ah! The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donham. Damn. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. How is it possible that the statue is holding the sword and it stabbed her? That's not possible, right? Because a statue is solid metal. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo added to the court record. There is no mistake, and this was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Huh. I mean... Witness! State your name and occupation, please! Hold on there. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness! Please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini! You got it, Bikini, nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. I mean, just cause you can't see it doesn't mean she's not wearing it underneath her other clothes, Judge. Use your imagination. Ah! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. Oh, I guess everybody's gonna leave. And then everybody immediately exits the courtroom. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist, let me tell you. I'm a sight to behold in summer. Aha! In any case... Witness! I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There is no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First tell us about Abu... Oh god, he's supposed to be Canadian. Please, first tell us about your own movements that night, eh? The night of the murder. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to the Hazakura temple. There is no bath at the inner temple, you see, so I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it! So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura temple? Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Mouse Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. What is this inner temple? Well, you see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? Sure. We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madam. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There is a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place? Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. Violently? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. Aha! On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. You left Iris to help? With what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 PM, so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolyte so they don't pass away. So what? So they don't die? They can die? Just to confirm this point again that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, she's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. So you returned to the Hazakura temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do-or-be-done-in kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. Bikinis. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? This is why you have to wash the young ones. What are you going on about? I was Pathetic, Mouse Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. Is this some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench? Yes, there is, Edgeworth. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from the post for too long, you understand, so... It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it! The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. I mean, you say that. Now I'm suspicious. That certainly seems to be true. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. That night I was helping an acolyte with training. Alright, there's one problem. Let me save. I don't actually know. Well, I mean, there is Iris's testimony. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry, I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No, she said that. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Honest eyes. Ah! All people lie. That is my belief. Yeah, even you, Francisca. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, you're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Ah, well, that isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony, and let us return to the cross-examination. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Are you sure that you are not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimation of me up from the floor! Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake. An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. No, wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button! Wrong button! Witness! Let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met. She was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Aha! Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? Because I like stealing women's clothes. That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Wow. Look at how many crates you're standing on. It is not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order in the court! Witness your Sister! This hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see, a stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Then this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancy such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness! While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. Soon there will be an entire forest of doubt. And then we can chop down the forest and harvest the logs, and then we can build a house of doubt out of logs. A whole log cabin of doubt. I don't know where this is going. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Ew. Contradictory stimulation. Wait, what? I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. Lightning 10 to 11. Snow stopped around 11. Lightning struck the bridge 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Ten to 11. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise! And with that sword of all things. How? Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. What if Amy killed Misty? What if Amy possessed Iris and used her body to kill Misty? Is that weird? Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of a window. How do you know that? You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. What? And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge, his imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Yeah, you should just not say anything. Anyway, this case is mine, Mouse Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name, can't you do something about that habit of yours, Franziska Von Karma? I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. 20 minutes. So she left the inner temple at 10. Oh, she didn't say when she got to her bath. It's about 15 minutes to the Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond that bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway towards the main hall. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and... You say you heard a noise? Thump, just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that. But then... couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling onto the ground? I never thought of that. Aha! Ho 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 ho! Ah! The next one to laugh gets a whipping! Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... Iris was... Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to. The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it is you saw as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Yeah, why did you say that? Please don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! Her hood! That's right, it's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. Oh. She wasn't wearing her hood, and so she was possessed by evil spirits. Owned! Also owned. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Ah! Ha! You've dug your own grave, Mouths Edgeworth. No, but who did she see in the inner temple then? Because she swears she saw Iris in the inner temple with the hood.